I'm not. You guys not hearing anything that I'm saying. All right, welcome back to another Sing Zone podcast. This is your host Zone Fanfic, coming to you guys with another Sing Zone podcast, Boruto Talk segment. Hopefully, you guys like this one, and hopefully, we can talk about some interesting things. I promise you guys, I'll be we'll be talking about some Boruto spoilers today. Not spoilers, theories today. Excuse me. So hopefully we can get into it. I might even be able to pull up the chapter. I don't know if they'll copyright on me. I don't really have any filters, but I don't know. Let's see what let's let's see what I can do. Um, hold on just a second. Cancel. All right, we're gonna attempt it, guys. All right, so this is what I got here. This is the chapter, the official release from Viz Media. I was looking through it a little bit, and I came up with I mean, I had a few theories we did the review yesterday for the fans translation, but yeah, we're gonna be going through some of these. Um, Essentially, right, we start off with Shikamaru as the Hokage. All right, Sarada is all grown up and looking all more adult like. I think that's the intention behind this. You know, it's very controversial, her look, but you know, it's probably best to not read too into it. Uh you guys know me. But you know, we got a color page of Boruto. You know, we got Shikamaru and Konohamaru as the assistant, right? Shikamaru has the Hokage vest. This isn't really the first time that we've seen him with the Hokage vest, if I remember correctly. Um, Also, if I'm I know I was having issues with my mic earlier. Let me know if we're still having issues. Um, because that way I can kind of fix that if you guys would like. Definitely do that. Yeah, if I'm having issues, just let me know and I could fix that. Um, also, let me know how you feel about some of these theories that we're gonna be talking about, guys. If you haven't already, join the Discord. And yeah, let's get into it. Right, we got Shikamaru, of course. With the Hokage. Now we saw him with the Hokage vest in the actual war arc. With I don't know if you guys remember the Naruto cloaks, the QB cloaks. Right, that was one of the other instances where we kind of seen the vest. I think they were just kind of. I think that was kind of one of those ideas they were kind of throwing out there just to see, hey, let's see if this sticks, and you know how's it gonna work with the fandom, and then we can see if it flows from there. Like if people like it, then we could probably introduce it in the future, something like that. Then we have Konohamaru as the assistant. I mean, I kind of expected this. He's more of like a side. He's a side. He's like it's weird that they've made him a side character. Um, they could have made him Okage and really gave him like really tried to flesh out his character. But no, I guess it makes more sense for Shikamaru to be Hokage at this point. And then we have Sarada kind of, you know, saying, of course, trying to argue a point. I did not expect this from her. If you guys know what I kind of theorized in the past, I was kind of thinking that she would more so be um, trying to hide out and not really in the public eye's face because she probably would have anticipated already being shut down. Um, but I guess she's not as smart as I thought she was. I mean, that's not saying that she's not intelligent. She's just not as smart as I thought she was, or would be at this point. Um, but yeah, she's just going straight up to the Hokage's office, like, man, you know, f this. I'm gonna Uchiha. I do what I want. Do what I want. I dress like I want. You know. No, but on a serious note, like she's calling him blockhead. Uh, you know, saying, hey, like well, okay, so this is another thing that I was kind of reading into, right? So a lot of people were saying that she got demoted, right? And I had to go back and really read into this because the translation says Lord Seventh once brought me back. Oh no, hold on, because there's a certain point where I believe it was Chikamaru that mentioned getting first. Um, uh, let's see. Boruto would never kill Hokage, the Lord Seventh. At least give him the chance to. Oh, I cannot see this. Let me widen this up. You guys know I can't see. Oh, let me. I gotta zoom in on this because I can't see. Let me. How do I widen this? There we go. Boom. All right. I know you guys really can't see that, but just bear with me. Right now, we're in the Hokage's office. Um, we'll get some real filters in the future. Didn't really have too much time. I was kind of working on personal stuff today. Very busy day, but yeah, she's over here talking about like I said before. Oh, that's Shikamaru saying. Hold on, let's reread this. So, like I said before, your entire premise is wrong. So she's telling Shikamaru that Boruto would never kill Lord Seventh. At least give him the chance to tell his side of the story. Um, why would he run if he's not guilty? Shikamaru, or that's Konohamaru. We also have Ada's Synergon eyewitness testimony. Like they're just trusting Ada, which is weird as fuck. Like they're just gonna trust Ada. All right. Um, that's none of this makes sense, but hey, we're going with it. We're going with it. If someone ordered your death, wouldn't you run too? Please rescind the order and hear him out. Right. Listen. So listen, sir. The sanctions against Boruto isn't in line with Konoha's laws. It's the will of the people, which is what I was saying before. If you guys remember a few theories back, I was essentially saying, okay, if there comes a point in time where Ada affects the village, which I presumed, if she gets to the village, last few Boruto talks that I did, last few Boruto segments that I did, I spoke about how if Ada gets in the village, there's a potential that she could put everyone in the village at risk and kind of turn. She already has a thing for Kawaki, so all Kawaki needs is just the village to be on his side and to consider Boruto a villain. That's not too hard of something to kind of pick up on just because of episode one. You know a lot of people speculated he might have gone rogue, either optionally or by force, and it looks like that she was kind of forced into the situation because of Ada, as expected, right? Let's see. Many of those living here are still angry about his betrayal. So he just kind of like ignores anything she says. Like whatever she's saying, it doesn't make sense at all. She's illusional in his eyes, right? So, hey, Sarah, this is Lord Eighth Your Mouth Off at. So, Konohamaru, he just completely disregarded the fact that he was like her sensei, and you know, none of that matters anymore, right? It's way beyond her at this point. It's above her pay grade, right? So, let's see. This is the last time that we'll speak of this. I'll get back to your mission. Calls him a blockhead. Uh, talks about Sasuke. Lord Seventh once brought back brought my dad back, who'd gone rogue and committed great crimes. He became Hokage while still a Genin. Now, a lot of people saw this and automatically thought she got demoted. I don't think they read it, to be honest. Because nothing about that statement tells me she's a Genin. At this point, she's still a Chunin. I'm gonna go off of that assumption. I don't care unless it's stated otherwise. Technically, now it is not stated that she's a Genin, or she's been demoted directly. Um, I'm just gonna trust my instinct on this one. My role model is Lord Seventh, not you, right? So she's basically saying like, yeah, he did it from a lesser position than you, right? Essentially, like he did it from a lesser position than you. So I'm gonna do what he's doing. I'm not gonna trust you because obviously I can't rely on you. Basically, um, right? And we get some interesting things here with Sumire and Sakura talking about like, yeah, you know, there's some things that aren't quite right. They're not gonna believe us, right? And it has gotten worse. You know, from the point that it started from 3 years, it's just continuously getting worse, and eventually they're gonna get to a point to where there's minimal there's like no chance, right? There's gonna have to be something else done, and I like how in this chapter there is a resolution pointed out, right? It just says, hey, we can what we can do or what can be done is we just make another wish, right? Another wish can be made, right? So Boruto can make that a wish, um, and then they have this ability, right? So from what we know now, from what we know right now, is that is that makes one's desires real, right? So it makes someone's desire real, right? It is omnipotence. Uh, it's that omnipotence is the type of Otsutsuki Shinjutsu. Okay, so that fan translation that we saw yesterday, it was supposed to say Shinjutsu. So we know it's Shinjutsu. Um, this much we already know, and that shoot, let me scroll back down. Uh, in that Kawaki's desire that created our current circumstance. So it was Kawaki's desire that created the circumstance, which we knew already. So we're getting some information confirmed. All right. Um, this technically was not confirmed. It was insinuated because of Kawaki was like, "What's going on?" At first, it happened. He was like, "What's going on?" And we as a fandom automatically assumed that it was Kawaki that did it to Ada. Right. Otherwise, Ada probably would have been able to do it on her own, or at least known what had happened. Um, oh, I guess in that moment, she was kind of out of it, drained, and it looked like she didn't necessarily directly um, create make that event happen naturally. Or excuse me, let me reword that. It didn't look like she made that happen intentionally. It made it look like it just happened naturally, based off of an event, based off of what Kawaki did. Right. Everyone's memories are changed. Right. This much we already knew. Think about it. Aren't you the only ones memories who aren't considered flawed? Right. So essentially, it's cat's out of the bag now. Everyone knows that probably Sumire and Sakura are the only ones that are considered flawed memories. Right. I don't know if they know about Boruto or even care that Boruto has the same memories that they have. And I like how we also get we also get Damon just kind of giving him the side eye. Like what is he giving him? Why is he giving him the side eye? And is he catching on? Is he not catching on? Is he just kind of daydreaming? You know, we don't really know. But I think it's gonna be a possibility that in the future he might catch on. I think that's what they're trying to insinuate, which I like. Um Let me see how's my audio doing, guys? How's my audio doing, chat? Let me know. If I need to make some adjustments, I can do that as well. But just make sure to let me know, and we can do that. So let's see. Yeah, we get Mitsuki and Kawaki here. So Mitsuki and Kawaki, it's weird because there's this dialogue with Kawaki's like, "Cool your bloodthirst, Mitsuki." So why the choice of words? right? In the fans translation, they said something very specific. In this translation, they say "cool your blood, thirst, Mitsuki." It's totally suffocating. So, is that just like cool guy talk? Is that just cool guy talk, or is that just like can he like feel like something of Mitsuki? That's interesting. Uh, I wouldn't doubt either or. Honestly, they could probably put both in the story. I could definitely see that in the future. I'm sure Boruto still wants to kill you, so he has this idea of like who Boruto is, and it's just not fitting. But I definitely did think, like I said in the other chapter, like if anyone can try to figure this out or at least come close to making a guess, like his father is like Orochimaru, and he's a sage. Like he has some solid chances to get as close to this as possible. To figure out like what happened in nature, like how was nature influenced, right? Because I don't think we've ever seen nature energy itself manipulated before. I think that's what this is. Yeah, and we get Shikadai and Inojin, right? These guys, I I didn't even realize Shikadai is the Hokage's son now. So he's Boruto or Kawaki, and he's living on that Hokage money now. You know. But yeah, I gave my thoughts about Himawari. Himawari is kind of a float. She's not really like, I had my ideas like she may come back like bloodthirsty. Um, I was kind of hoping that after she found out Boruto, but then someone brought up a point yesterday that she sees Boruto as Kawaki, and she didn't. She had a better relationship with Kawaki than she did Boruto, her brother. So now that Kawaki's her brother, I know this is kind of weird. Now that Kawaki's her brother, Boruto's Kawaki, right? So she still has that relationship that just kind of happens. And so she's trying to figure it out. And the weird part about it is like that alone does not make sense. It does not equal this character. This character of who she is now, it seems like she may have some like type of ability to kind of sense like other things. Like she mentioned her father. I have a feeling that my dad is still alive somewhere. How do you know that? How do you know that? Are you She can't just be optimistic. She like has to know that. Like, yep. And then you got Kawaki kind of throwing. It looks like he's throwing like a one of those chakra pulls on Code's mark, and yeah, he's got we got Code's invasion this chapter. It's interesting because I've predicted Code's invasion ever since we saw Code with the Tin Tails, right? And then you got Ada, Code breaking Ada out and just causing this mishap within the village. Well, the mishap has happened, but 3 years later, it took 3 years later for Code to actually make a move. I don't know how long it took for him to be unaffected by Ada's ability. If he's still affected by Ada's ability, if he was affected by omnipresence, it's presumed that technically he is affected because hasn't been stated otherwise, and he's kind of treating Boruto like Kawaki anyways. From what we can see that he has um the Dharmagon. I think people call him the Dharmagon on Twitter. Yeah, we don't have a technical name for it yet. Um, but yeah, it's Ishiki's Dojutsu in full action. Looks like he's looks like he might have been training with Mitsuki. I'd assume he's been training with Mitsuki just because of their subtle relationships. The fact that he feels like he can talk to Mitsuki like that. Like, how are you talking to Mitsuki like that? Don't disrespect Mitsuki. But yeah, Mitsuki was giving me some major side vibes this chapter, man. Um, but yeah, hopefully he can redeem it. And then he of course shrinks. It looks like he shrinks the claw mark. I don't know how because I thought the claw mark was a part of Code's DNA. So this doesn't make sense. So a claw mark along with scruff on your on your neck. What? I don't know. I had no idea. So yeah, yeah. It looks like because it's gone right there. Like I don't see it right there. I don't know if you guys see it. I don't see it right there. Um, it looks like it got smaller, or maybe he just left it on there. I don't exactly know. And then of course you got these buff ass looking Frieza guys on there. Cooler. I prefer cooler. You know. But no, the claw grimes are attacking, and there's only like three of them too, causing havoc. So how strong are they? Like I personally, I hope each of them are at least like Jonin level. I think the white Zetsus were like Jonin level if I remember correctly. So I hope they're like actually no, I hope they're like Sonin level. To be honest, if they're Sonin level, um, hey, things are about to go down, and I'm wondering like so how my previous theory was that um once Code actually goes through with his attack, what'll happen is he'll attack not just the leaf, he'll attack the cloud, the mist, the rain, the line of the stone, right? Um, he'll attack everyone at once. So I'm definitely excited. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for this to happen. Um, this is the way. I think this is maybe more to Two Blue Vortex Part One or Chapter One, but I think it may be Ko's redemption arc if I you know if the zone's intellect is or foresight is correct, then it's definitely Code's uh his redemption arc. I really want him to just attack not only the leaf, but he's got thousands of clones on one village is ridiculous. Like you guys forget, the man's unlimited, right? He's unlimited, so he's above Jigen level. He's at 3 years to train, right? And he's also had or to practice and find flaws, right, in his battle techniques or whatever, whatever he was doing. Um, so this man has got karma, right? Probably knows how to use it a little better now. Um, but no, like I'm expecting him to not only just attack the leaf, to attack every other village at the same time, to be the world threat. In which case, I foresee Kawaki as basically assuming his role as the supreme leader and Emperor Kawaki. Now I've been saying this since day one, right? Ever since we've seen him in chapter one, I was like, "Yo, he looks like an emperor." Yeah, he looks like an emperor. Why does he look like an emperor? Why does voice look rogue? Bro, like something big has to happen. That was Ada's technique. She affects the entire world. So something of equal magnitude has to happen to fix that, right? To fix whatever. Who killed Lord Seventh, right? Who set off the clones? It wasn't Code. You know who it was? It was Boruto working with Code, right? Boruto did this. The moment he arrived in the village, the clones the clones arrived, right? Because all it takes is like some civilian to um to reword something. Oh, Kawaki was saving the civilians. Like right here, I have Kawaki saving civilians. right? Why is Kawaki playing this role? So when Code actually does attack with these clones, the civilians are only going to see that Kawaki was protecting it. They're going to trust that someone with the ability to not only be as strong as the Hokage, but stronger than all the Hokages, and the only one capable of fighting these threats with the power of Ada and Damon. Ada and Damon don't care. Honestly, whatever happens, like they probably already know. Like they definitely know like something big. Like they're hiding something. This we know. Um, but I think that as far as um, excuse me, as far as something big happening, this is it. The attack happens, and then as soon as the attack happens, they're gonna fend it off, right? They're gonna find a way to get rid of Code, and Code's not gonna leave his clones there. As soon as Code gets wounded, he's out of there. He's gonna get wounded because he's not complete, right? I think that's probably why the author probably decided to have either Boruto or Sasuke wound his eye, right? So when he actually absorbs the Ten Tails, because now they're mixed with his DNA, right? So what if he could just absorb the Ten Tails? I've been saying this for a while now, right? He has a Ten Tails clone mixed with his DNA. He couldn't just absorb him because he didn't have a Renegon, right? But does that matter if they're able to kind of mix with his DNA over time? Maybe it took 3 years. Maybe it takes a certain amount of time for the DNA and the Jubi clones to kind of mature, right? And maybe the influence that of Jigen's karma or whatever karma that Code has um, takes takes time to kind of mature on a vessel like the Jubi clones, the claw grimes, right? And so if this is the case, right? Stay with me now. If this is the case, what could happen is Code can grab those mature uh, claw grimes, absorb them back, and this is most likely what's going to happen at a certain point. Probably months later, he's going to start absorbing all of his clones. Why did he create so many clones, right? That may or may not be able to do something. They're going to be able to create some like diversion, right? But they're not going to be effective over a period of time. After the first attack happens, people are going to get familiar with it, these claw grimes, right? And they're going to learn how to defend off of these. So this is not a long-standing effort, right? This is a one. This is the first step. As soon as these claw grimes attack and the people of the world find out, oh, we've got these claw grimes. Let's find out what they are and how to defend against them. Code's gonna start to absorb them. I'm telling you now. And then at that point, well, before that, right? Code's gonna get his. He's probably gonna put up a good fight against Boruto and Kawaki. We're gonna see how strong he is, how strong Boruto is, and how strong Kawaki's been. I definitely think that he's going to utilize the clones as forms of like teleportation throughout the village. I think they're going to be like accessories for him. As far as like we see how he fights like in the shadows, right? He's essentially like a better Shikamaru, right? Um, he kind of like what I mean by that. He uses like shadow technique, right? Like he um how would I call it? It's not shadow technique. It's because that'd be inaccurate to say. It's um, it definitely looks like it looks that way, but as far as like what they actually are, um, we know Shikamaru uses shadow technique, right? Right. Code actually, it looks like he's using a form of um space time, right? So I don't know. It could be like a yin or yang infused space technique. I don't exactly know. I don't exactly know, but he's he's a bit more menacing in that way. Just based off of his technique and how he kind of fights. I think his fighting style most likely defines who he is as a character. And then I think when we'll probably get some backstory in the next few chapters, or at least we should. Thinking optimistically, right? We should get backstory on Code. Technically, we should get backstory, maybe a little bit of backstory on Kawaki, right? But we I doubt, at the very least, I think probably Kawaki will be the least likely. I think we'll definitely get Code, and then whenever the events happen, and Code runs away, then it'll be Boruto and Kawaki, right? And we may get chapter one, or I'm thinking we'll get chapter one, um, to where Boruto and Kawaki meet, right? I'm really thinking that we're that close to that point. It's very possible that it's not that point just because of the close. I don't know if they're gonna completely do like a one to one um changeover, right? Like we see Kawaki has different clothes, but I don't know if they're going to completely like give him those same exact clothes or not. Um, but I definitely feel like we're close to that point where Kawaki and Boruto meet on the cliff. Um, and it's funny because we don't see the Hokage faces anymore, so we don't know if Shikamaru has had his face planted on the mountain, or what's happened to the village. And we still got a lot of important people to kind of come out and fight these clones. The claw grimes, like the moment code starts popping out hundreds more, we're gonna have Tsunade probably come out in the works. We're gonna have Guy Sensei, Rock Lee, Kakashi, like all these people come out and fight. And these claw grimes, they gotta be pretty strong. Um, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if like one of the Hokages died, like during the time skip, like if Tsunade or Rock Lee or someone died. Personally, if I was the writer, I would utilize the time to kind of get rid of some of the previous characters, off screen or not. Like their time to shine was mostly during um, Naruto. If I'm being straight up, it was their time to shine was legit Naruto. Like this is a whole nother cast. They're older now. They're capable of fighting and defending their own to an extent, and this is their war. The Naruto characters, they fought their war, right? This is the next gen's time to shine. Two Blue Vortex, right? So I definitely like that. There was a video that I kind of mentioned in the past where it's called Dark Side of the Wheel of Fire, right? How politics will start to become a thing within Boruto, right? We have, like I said, I mentioned the New World Order. So the moment that these civilians start seeing like, oh, like every time Boruto arrives, he brings trouble, right? He's a real legitimate threat not only to the Leaf but to the Shinobi world, right? Like Kakashi died in this war or whatever. Have some important characters die in this war, right? That hopefully we're about to have, and and really give the civilians of Konoha something to be scared about, right? Sakura, like we're the fuck is Sakura? Because she's probably the strongest in the village, aside from Kawaki and yeah, aside from like Kawaki and Ada and Damon. And then of course you got Boruto just kind of arriving on the scene. Assuming they said that Kawaki, what did they say? Yeah, looks like Esportia looks like he infiltrated suddenly from sky, right above coast positions. So it looks like he's flying, right? So we're gonna see some Superman action going on, which I didn't expect because they're over there like on that mountain, just kind of like on their knees on episode one. So like, okay, did they run out of a flying juice? Like, why aren't they flying? Are they preserving chakra? Like by now, like you, I mean, technically, it might not be their expertise to just acquire chakra or learn how to most effectively acquire chakra. Like, this man is coming out of hiding, looking like Super Saiyan Gohan. Like Teen Gohan, and I'm expecting him to like be in his Super Saiyan mode all the time. But it looks like I can't say for a fact that he is in constant practice. Um, at this point we don't know if Sasuke is dying, so he may be technically a little rusty. I mean, rusty in the sense of like not actively training. Like he's probably far surpassed Sasuke, right? He's definitely probably I assume him, Code, and Kawaki are pretty relative to each other. Like neither of them are gonna like unless they really trying to kill each other. I don't think. I mean, Kawaki may try to kill him, but I feel like Kawaki like wants to play with. Like he doesn't want to really kill Boruto, but he's going to make it seem like he wants to kill Boruto. I truly feel that way, right? Um, and because I think he's definitely putting on an act so that he can actually be like, hey, you see what's going on? You got all these things going on. I can protect you, right? I'm the only one that can protect you, right? I have I have Otsutsuki powers and I'm gonna use them to defend you, right? Put on like um a whole fucking what's it called? Uh what's it called? Campaign. Yeah. Yeah, Kawaki's gonna put on that campaign. Um what's going on here? Oh yeah, last chapter. Alright, yeah, so we got Boruto, right? You finally shown yourself, Boruto, and Boruto's just kind of chilling there with his hand there. And yeah, he got he's not phased by these claw grimes, and you got Sarada not phased by these claw grimes. I don't think yeah, Sarada, I think she's like I would say she's like I want to say she's like at her base, she's probably like mm, let's see. At her base, she's probably like Sasuke level, right? Let's say she's like Sasuke level. And then when she's like raging or like in full like fighting mode, um, on like survival mode, I think she's able to kind of like match Boruto at this point in time. This is all speculation, of course, but this is my guess on where Sarada is probably at. Right? She's had some Mangekyo training at this point, right? Um, maybe even a little bit. I mean, I'd assume she would have trained under either Kakashi or Sarada some more, um, or all of them, right? You got Sarada, you got two Hokages that were in the village. You got the fifth and the sixth, and you got your mother. Like, how is she not gonna be OP, bro? Um, and then she's like what in this on this claw grime, right? And this is how they're gonna fight. This is if you see like the claw grimes coming out of each other, you're probably gonna see like 50 of them coming out of each other, and then like diving back into each other and like fighting like that, right? And then of course they probably have the abilities to create claws as well. I'd assume. So there's gonna be a lot of like moving back and forth. Next chapter is probably gonna be crazy. But either chapter 2 or 3 is probably gonna be crazy with a lot of jumping back and forth through each other, and Code's gonna be dodging through these claw grimes. Like he's probably gonna be using them as like his defense and offense, right? Like to be watching his six, right? To you know Their eyes are his eyes, I'd assume. And so he could whatever they sense, he could probably sense. I'd figure. And you know, I've always said like it's weird. It's definitely weird how they kind of slashed off Code's eye. I've always kind of said that he may have some type of dojutsu, just because his eye has like two circles in it. I think I spoke about this with FBK a while back on the Uzumaki video, uh, and even on the it's like the the dark end of Boruto video. Um, I mentioned that Code might possibly have a dojutsu. This may be one, but I definitely think because the claw grimes are still here, that he's saving them not like temporarily as his offense and defense, as his eyes and ears. Like they're all purpose. They're an all purpose accessory for him right now, but they're going to really be in effect. I think when he absorbs them, and when he absorbs them, I think they're gonna mature, and it's definitely gonna be interesting because I don't think it's not gonna be the same as Naruto the way they're going to give, provide the chakra fruit, or how he's gonna get the chakra fruit, or if they can even birth the chakra fruit. If there's like a queen of them, right? That's just kind of sitting back, right? With a chakra fruit, but it's I think that's gonna be interesting. These as far as like the village, I think it's about to get destroyed. I think the New World Order is about to happen, and as soon as that New World Order has to happen, Emperor Kawaki happens, and then I think Sarada is really gonna be on the ropes with Sumire, and she may want to leave the village at that point in time. The moment that a war jumps off and it gets resolved, because politically what's going to happen, hear me out, politically what's going to happen, if a war goes off in Konoha, they're going to blame it on Boruto, and they're going to blame it on Code, but mostly Boruto. Kawaki is going to spin this and make it seem like Boruto, and at this point Sakura is going to know that it wasn't Boruto, that Boruto actually was there to help. The civilians aren't going to listen, like Shikamaru stated, the Hokage, the eighth Hokage, right? And since that happened, um, what's going to happen now is, well, after they choose not to believe Sarada, she's gonna get shunned away. She's probably still gonna remain in the village. I'm feeling like she may still remain in the village. Boruto will probably fight Kawaki, and I think he may lose. Honestly, I think Kawaki is stronger than Boruto still at this point. Um, it would only make sense. I don't see Ada and Damon kind of getting it. Damon might get involved in the war. Honestly, like he might fight a couple claw grimes if they come and attack. If they're that strong, and I'm feeling like they're that strong. Um, and yeah, it would make sense if after Kawaki kind of defends Leaf against Boruto, Boruto may have his Jogan, but he may still have some, like, it's not a weaker thing. The reason why I think he's not, him and Kawaki. Let me get this straight. Kawaki and him, I think they're about equal, but the fact that Kawaki Boruto still has Momoshiki probably definitely is like a power dampener at points in times, right? What I mean by this is that it most likely Momoshiki is most likely a hindrance for Boruto. So he likes to try to mess with Boruto so that he is the one in control, right? And I think that Otsufication has been happening which has probably been affecting Boruto mentally, aside from whatever happened to Sasuke or whatever happened in the past 3 years. Right now, um, Sasuke could just be hiding out, but I definitely feel like there was definitely some altercation or something with uh with Code and Sasuke, and I think Sasuke may have left. Like it would be a huge dub for Code if um, if he lost it if he won against Sasuke, because he's Sasuke's a main character, but technically he's not as strong as Code. Technically, um, now the fact that we just see like Boruto, straight stepping on Code's face. Um, Look at this. I want you guys to look at this look that Code has. He's not concerned at all. Code is not concerned at all. I'm pretty sure this feels like to me that Code, like he's looking down, like he's like, oh, and he looks up, right? So it doesn't look like he's too concerned about, you know, Boruto. Otherwise, he would have been on guard. He probably would have tried to step back or something, or maybe like he doesn't look like he was truly caught off guard. That I'm not getting caught off guard, right? Um, because you can see he automatically comes back with the counter, right? Comes back with a counter, and he's not stunned. So yeah, Code's definitely got some things up his sleeve that we just haven't seen. Like he's not. This is not really like a Code shit on moment. I mean, it looks like it because it kind of is, but um, I think this is more a show to showcase like what Boruto is capable of now, and like his mentality now. But as far as like Code actually being like, this being like a L for Code, uh, not really. I don't think so. I'm kind of doubting it, but yeah. If you guys have any specific feelings about this chapter or anything else that I said, any counter arguments, anything that you want to add to it, New World Order is coming, and Code's probably due for another maybe one or two more L's. Um, but I definitely think we're gonna get some backstory from Code very soon. If that's either gonna be before his L or like right after his L. Um, find out like his lineage, like what he knows, and how he's able to kind of still be relative to Boruto and Kawaki. I figured he would be um like I was saying, I figured like he would be more of like a part two villain. People kept saying like he was going to die before the time skip. I was like, no, man. Like he's a part two villain. Like what's gonna happen? Like these claw grimes. This is the reason like his DNA is on these claw grimes. He put his DNA. Think about it. He put his DNA. That's like that's like Naruto putting his DNA on physically on each of um the Biju, right? And just letting them roam free. That's exactly how it's like. Um but this is Code, right? So this is a feat, right? And I don't know why we're downplaying this, but this is crazy right here, right? Um and I think I would have rather seen. It looks like Himawari is actually putting up a pretty good fight. Like she does, it doesn't like she's trying too hard. She's like, yeah, right. So she's training. She's got the shuriken, the star shuriken, right? Um, or no, she's got the shuriken and the kunai. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot what they were called yesterday. Um, yeah, but no, it look. I think this is her like. Excuse me. I think this is her like just kind of trying, just training. It's just her just training. So how she is serious, I have no idea, but I'm figuring she's pretty nasty when she's serious. And if she's going to keep training, I definitely think I feel like for some reason we may get another time skip. Like I would not doubt if we have a fucking an invasion right now, and then we have another time skip. I would not doubt that at all. Um, like maybe I don't know, a year. A year wouldn't be bad. Um, but yeah, that's just me dreaming. This is probably gonna be like um, the final, I guess, or the final designs for a while. But if I was writing a story, I would create another time skip like after this main fight, if they make a main fight, right? That way we can see kind of Himawari now that she's older. We can have, uh, she could be like she would have something else to fall back on, right? Or to worry about, right? So if Boruto was the cause of the village's destruction, she might actually think like, oh, Boruto came back just to destroy the village. It's gonna be hard to argue about that. But yeah, definitely give me your thoughts. Hopefully we see her in the Anbu pretty soon, or at least a quest to go to the Anbu. It doesn't look like this is gonna be in her character, but that's me and my pipe dream. If you guys like what we've been talking about so far, like the video, um, give it a share, and yeah, maybe we can give some more theories, and next month or something. Uh, yeah, hopefully we can get another. Maybe we can get a special guest. I don't know, but yeah, this is not gonna be like as frequent as a thing. If you guys would like to see some theories or see me talk about something else, um, or maybe go more in depth with Boruto, make sure to join the Discord, follow us on Twitter, all social media, and yeah, um, this has been Zone Fanfic, and I will see you later, travelers. Peace.